Bhagwan Buddha says, when somebody is awake in the night, then the whole night seems very long for him. When somebody is very tired physically, so even to walk for 10 feet will be a too tiresome journey for him. In the same way, when somebody is ignorant, when somebody is lacking wisdom, then this world will seem to be too long. The world will seem to be miserable for him. Buddha points out the source of misery is in the lack of knowledge. Because for the ignorant, the world is very bad. In fact, we have heard so many people when they are frustrated, they say, world is too much for me, or why is this happening to me only? In the state of frustration, the whole world seems to be your enemy. These are the people who get involved with the world very seriously. They have a very tight involvement with the world, and when their expectation is not fulfilled, they get frustrated. And the world is such that the world and the human mind is such that it it cannot fulfill the desires of human mind because of the peculiar nature of the mind is so bent on acquiring everything in the world that the world is never too much. The human mind will ultimately be miserable because of its own nature. This is the peculiarity, not because of something else, but just because of the way mind functions. So, the only solution to this problem is to understand the mind and to understand the world. Now, suppose you go into the cinema, and in the cinema hall, or you go to see a drama, and very intense drama is happening on the screen, and you feel like weeping, you feel like crying over there, and some people do actually. But deep within, when you're crying, deep within, you know all this is false, all this is illusion, all this will get over. And it is actually not me to whom this is happening. This is a source of relief. When you are watching the cinema, the source of relief is that this is not happening to me. Although whatever is happening is bad or good, but it is not happening to me. But for the time being, one gets carried away. Somebody weeps, somebody cries. When somebody is getting murdered or some suspense scene is happening, you will see that everyone's vertebral column is straight. Everyone just comes up and lock their eye on the screen that something intense is happening on the screen. But soon after, within a spur of moment, one recognizes back to the original nature that okay, this is not happening to me. So you're relaxed. In the same way, the whole world is just a drama, including you as the actor. You yourself is the actor in the drama. With your senses, with your five senses and the mind, you recognize the world. You see the existence of objects, people, places. You have the concept of time and space because of your mind. And with the same mind, you see yourself also. You see your aspirations, you see your desires, you see your states of mind, and you see yourself as the actor who is roaming on the drama. You are the background in which the actor and the world, they both interact with each other. So when something bad happens to the actor, if you are identifying with the actor, then you'll feel sorry, you'll weep, cry. But if you are identifying yourself with that background, then you won't feel sorry, is it? Like when you see very intense drama on the screen, you'll clap very hard. Even though it is a very sad scene, in the end, you will give him awards, Grammy awards, or this or that awards for the intense drama. What a performance! What a marvelous performance! So the idea is you don't take cinemas seriously. You don't take the incidences happening in the drama seriously. And the same thing you have to do in real life also. Do not take anything seriously. Take everything very lightly, as if something is happening in your dream or something is happening in the cinema. Hmm? Like yesterday, you I saw a dream that I have become a beggar and I don't have even money to feed myself. But when in the morning I wake up, I see that I have everything I require to live in this world. In fact, just because the dream was illusory, I don't have to even discuss that thing or have any impression on my mind that something like that has happened to me. But for those 8 hours when I was beggar in the dream, I was like devastated. What will I do? What will happen to my family? How will I subsist in this world? But after waking up, just the knowledge that this dream is illusory, is this dream is false, this idea itself gives the feeling gives the feeling of relief on waking up. In the same way, when you identify yourself with that absolute consciousness, with that absolute witness, you think everything as a dream, everything as illusory. So, whatever happens in the world to you yourself, everything is just a dream. And when this knowledge is so much inculcated in your blood that you don't have to feel anything seriously, you will be in the state of absolute relaxation. In that state of absolute relaxation, you will not feel like doing anything. And when somebody asks you question, don't think about somebody. When you yourself ask any question, okay, so what do you want to do? The answer must come nothing, because you are not taking anything seriously. You are just living in your own self, in your original nature, in your absolute self, wherein you are so much fulfilled, so much contented with yourself that you don't have to do anything. And the mechanisms in the world are such that when you are sitting silently without doing anything, the world will get everything, whatever is to be done from you. You do not have to do anything. Your wife will come, your your children will come, your office guys will come, and the whole world will extract everything that has to be done from you. But from within yourself, you do not even feel like taking another step. Everything will keep happening when you are just within yourself, like this. During the times of Bhagwan Raman Maharshi, there was a struggle for independence, India's independence at the peak, and the volunteers from the then Congress party, they came and they asked uh, Raman Maharshi that why not he participate in the struggle for independence. To which Bhagwan Raman Maharshi replied that if you see that the house is burning in the cinema, will you go and fetch the bucket of water and throw it on the screen? And that answer was sufficient for them. The world is just an illusion, and trying to trying to choose one illusion over another is no wisdom. And Bhagwan Raman Maharshi was stuck to that principle to that such an extent that for 14 years he did not even talk to anybody, not because he has taken any Maunvrata or something, any vow of silence. There was no vow of silence, but just that there was nothing that he wanted to talk. There was no need for him to talk. So he did not talk. He just meditated and simply did nothing. And in that state of doing nothing, he did not even bother about his own body. There were worms and festering pus in his leg, and he simply did nothing. So that was the level of nothingness to which Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi executed that principle. But for us, for the common being, it is important to to have identification with ourself, with our real nature, and from there take a look, take a perspective of things happening in the world, so that you are not seriously involved in anything. You know there is something inside you which is more important than anything which is outside you. Okay. When your awareness is flowing towards object, it is called materialism. And when your awareness is flowing toward your own self, it is called spirituality. And with this practice of spirituality, one can live to one can one can live in the state of bliss.